And so for this episode, this is another InformedAdvocate Tip. Update your voicemail. And so when it comes to your voicemail, as an informed advocate, and especially as a self-caregiver, and remember, especially the personal self-caregiver, that means that you are a support for someone and you're more than likely a point of contact for someone. And in saying that, you may be listed as an emergency contact. And one thing that I've experienced personally as a personal self-caregiver and that I've experienced professionally is that a lot of times individuals are frustrated, get upset because no one has contacted them, or where someone have left a message, but the message isn't really telling them anything. Sometimes the message may not tell them exactly, completely where they're calling from or what the call entails. And again, someone can leave a message that this is such and such from such and such hospital, from such and such clinic. And again, as personal caregivers, self-caregivers, it is really imperative to make sure that your voicemail, whether it's your voicemail at home or your voicemail on your cell phone, is up to date. It is available to receive messages. And so there's a couple things when it comes to that. One, make sure that your voicemail is available to receive messages, meaning if it's your cell phone, set up your voicemail. The other thing is that for your voicemail to identify who you are. There are different reasons that people may have just their telephone number or the generic message. Whether it's the home, voicemail on a landline or on your cell phone. And the reason that it is important for you to be identified is because whoever is calling you do not know if they really have the right number. You know it's the right number. Your loved one may know it's the right number. But the person who's calling do not know if they have the right number to the right person, should I say. That's the main key. Because of HIPAA and which is a part of confidentiality, individuals in the medical field, whether it's mental health or the generalized medical field, have the utmost responsibility and there's liability of leaving too much information. So that's another reason why the message may seem encrypted. And the main thing is they really need to talk to you about whatever it is they need to talk to you about, whether they have questions or if they need to tell you something. And so the voicemail needs to be available to receive messages. The voicemail needs to identify who you are, and kind of going back to what I said before, needs to be available to receive, meaning that the voicemail isn't always full. The other thing is too, even though I'm talking about voicemail, but also I realize that telephone calls may come from unknown numbers, of the sort may come from unknown numbers, unrecognized numbers. Again, when your voicemail is set up, then that is at least one way the person can leave a message to let you know who is calling. Because I know that sometimes some people have something set up where it may go straight to voicemail if it's an unrecognized number. I understand that, because you may get an unexpected call because you're not expecting it, the telephone call. And so I'm just making sure. And so, again, make sure that your voicemail is set up and identifies who you are, and you're able to receive messages. And then there was one more point I was going to make. But anyway, this is so important so that you can receive the information that you need to receive, whether it's for medical or mental health, and or so that you can give information majority of the time, especially in an emergency situation. Most of the time, let me go back a little bit. Most of the time when it comes to medical, when someone, if the doctor or nurse is calling you, majority of the time they're giving you information, the status of your loved one. Sometimes they may be asking you some questions regarding medications, regarding certain signs and symptoms, and things like that. In the medical field, in the mental health field, they are majority of the time asking you questions about what that person, more so than telling you that person's status. And that's another conversation. But the main thing is, for this episode, is that in order, to support, help your loved one as a personal self-caregiver and as an informed advocate, is to make sure that your voicemail is up to date, identifies who you are, and is available to receive messages. And so, thank you for listening for the Informed Advocate podcast.